Okay, welcome back to the old dude ranch. Yep, I'm the old dude again here. Do a little horse training. So we've been working through a series with Blue. He's been a wild bucking horse, and we've got him all the way up to saddle and bridle, and now I'm going to work on trying to mount him. So the first thing I do is, because I'm short, is I get a bucket so I can get up over his head. They get really excited when I get high in the air. So I stay away from him and I stand up on a bucket. You can stand on a horse stand, which is safer, which I recommend, but I'm an idiot. I don't do that because I don't have one. And I just get up and approach and retreat. Get him used to me standing up above him. You can see him wobble. I've been doing this in the pen with him. Unfortunately, when you train in the winter, the round pen has got the pastures are as muddy as heck, so I had to come up here at a whole new place that he's not familiar with and start doing this again. I had him pretty well going in the where I was ready to get on him, but all this snow. So I'm on a day, I'm off a day, I'm on a day. It's just too muddy. There's not a lot I can do. What I do never want to do is mount a horse, try to ride him the first time when it's slick, it's muddy, it's sloppy. That's when they go down, when they turn, they do something stupid. He gets hurt, I get hurt. I don't get on a horse unless I have good dry ground footing. So now I'm just approach and retreat, approach and retreat. He's really nervous because I've had him out of the pasture. I've had him in different places. This is the first time I've had him up here by the hay barn. And so now I'm just leaning on him, rubbing him away, acting like I'm, going to get up in the saddle. We've been spanking the stirrups and stuff all week. I've been approaching, retreating up on top of him. He's taking the saddle really well. He's getting much better on the bridle. And, we're just really getting close. But unfortunately, I've had to skip a few days and here and there. And it's just really cost me. When you don't stay with a horse a long time, it's really hard to keep him going. And I'm going to pay the price with this one because I just couldn't give him the attention he needed. So now you see me put some weight on a stirrup. I'm just acting like I want to get on him. Approach and retreat, approach and retreat. Now I got to do it on one side, I got to do it on the other side. So I stand back a ways. You see how excited he gets. Wave the air, wave him. I'm building him up to get him under saddle. Approach and retreat, approach and retreat. Rub it away. Now I'm going to move my bucket a little bit closer. I don't just start right next to him. I start out of ways to see how he's going to respond. You see how he doesn't like that? So now I'm going to put a little energy because I don't want him to walk off like that. I don't tie him tight. I give him a lot of room so that they can move. Uh, just like when I get on him, I won't have him tied the first time. I want to make him so he can move. I want him to have space to move away from me as much as I can. And this is probably too tight because I like him. As scared as he is, he's going too tight to the trailer there, you see, but I'm doing it anyway. So that's mistakes you make. So now I'm moving the bucket closer. Now I'm just laying on the saddle. He's very, very nervous. I haven't been able to do this every night, on and off, a couple of nights out and with the mud. I haven't been able to move him and round pen him like I want because it's just too slick. But I try not to lose him here because of the winter and the mud. So now I want to go to his head a little bit, put some pressure on it, keep some of the exercises that we haven't been able to do for a couple days and on and off. Uh, rub things away. Looking for the pole, just about an inch behind his pole. I'm going to pull, I'm going to push. I want his head to come down. There we go. There he goes. He's coming up and down. Every time he drops, I release the pressure. Go back to his body. I really want to get ready to mount on him. I'd really like to have got on him yesterday, but with this, or a couple days ago, but with the snow, haven't been out here with him for a couple days, and he's awful antsy with me. He's having a really hard time today. With me even around the saddle or really up close to the saddle, and I can tell that. So I'm trying to be careful and rub it away. Then work the other side, come back to this side. He's really antsy, but I don't want to lose the ground that we gained. Fortunately, I didn't lose the ground, of putting the saddle and the bridle on him and on the groundwork. He's got all his stuff fundamentals down still, but he's just not ready to get on. He's just too hot when I get up around his back. So here I'm getting on, I'm putting some weight and I'm holding him, trying to lean across the top. He's awful anxious, he's awful jumpy. I'm going to get off of him because I don't want to push him too hard. He's just really having a hard time with that. So I give him some relief and I try to rub it away. Normally I like to work on this drill until they really relax and they're not bothered with me getting on there. But this is a new area, a new space. He's really reactive up here by the trailer. He hasn't been there. And so I'm leaning a little bit farther. And he really doesn't like that. And you see him get excited. So I get right into him and I give him that energy because he just doesn't. He has a hard time. Where he's having a hard time is I'm standing on one side of him and he's seeing me in the right eye and the left at the same time. I've been told he might have been a bucking horse. There's a high chance of that. And he just doesn't trust me up on his back. So I'm trying not to push him that far. I'm trying to get him comfortable with me up there by just approaching and retreating and laying across the saddle. And he just does not like me up there at all. I'm going to try again. See if he'll let me get up on him. And he's really antsy, really nervous. He doesn't like me up there at all. Come back down. That was a little better, but I can tell he's just not comfortable with me getting up here. And this is the side I want to teach him. I'm going to mount him on, so I'm going to really work it. Up there he gets excited, and that's why I don't like him tight to the barn. That's why I like to do this. It really doesn't hurt me coming off, but I'm going to let him know I didn't like that. I'm going to put some energy in it, tell him he wasn't good. Now, my wife laughed and laughed at this part. She loves to see me have, so if as long as I'm not hurt, she thinks it's really funny. So she let me know that was a pretty funny fall. But that's all right. But what you got to do is get back on, and that's why I don't get all the way on. He's just not comfortable. So the worst thing I can do is stop. So I'm just going to come back and pull my starting point back and lay on him. This horse is going to be very challenging, as reactive as he is, to get up behind his head where he can't see you. So I'm just going to lay here for a while. I'm just going to hold still. I'm going to just try to get him to calm down. Just take my time. So now I just want to get back down, get back up, get back down, approach and retreat. Go back to a starting point. Get him comfortable with me just laying on him. I'm not going to step up in the stirrup for a while. I'm going to just work on him, getting him used to me sitting here next to him, laying on him. Get used to something around his back. Gonna rub it away. Come back up on top. Put my foot back, give him a little bit of weight, not as much, not where he's seeing me on both sides. I'm gonna bounce a little bit like I'm getting up like I was, and then I'm gonna retreat. I got to do this on both sides. So, we did the one side, I got to do it on the other. And until I really feel comfortable that he's going to stand when I get on him. I don't like having train wrecks like I had. That's not good. My job is to get him not to have train wrecks, to go at a pace that I don't want to teach him how to buck. Now he's walking away because so I'm going to point him back. I'm going to make him mind me. I want him to stand still. I gave him a break and he got antsy, so I'm not going to let him do that. See how he's getting antsy? I'm not going to let him do that. That bucket's in the way. That's driving him. That's getting crazy, so I'm going to have to move the bucket. But I don't want him to be reactive when I give him a break, so I'm going to put the energy and make him get back up there and stand. I know he doesn't like it up here to the barn. This is a new spot, a new place, so it's a tough spot for him to. He's got too much going in his mind. He's in place. I'm pushing him above his limits. I already got up on top high where he didn't like that. So I've really got him to need to get him to calm down up here before I can take him away from this environment. If I don't, I'm going to teach him that him being hot and reactive, he's going to win. So I'm really taking the time to make sure I rub away that fall. And I know you guys like to see all these falls and all the funny things. I'm getting too old for this. I don't need to be hitting the ground. I've hit the ground many times. I've come over on horses. They've rolled me. I've had saddle horns in my chest. I've had them roll on me. I had them go down on me. I've been kicked. I've been bucked off. I've been reared over the top. I'm getting too old. I want everything to go nice and peaceful. Just enjoy my tunes and kick back. So I'm just going to lay on him a while. I like how he's licking his lips and he's starting to relax a little bit more because I'm not putting as much pressure on. And he did that, so I'm going to back off. Another fun day of getting this horse ready to ride. He's going to be a challenge. I just wish, by now I'm normally on a horse, but hey, we'll take what we got to do and we got to put the time and effort. Put my foot back up in the stirrup. Put a little weight on it. Just put a little weight on it. Put a little weight on it. There. Bounce up and down like I'm going to go back up where I was at, where he threw me off. Should have held on tighter and been prepared for that. But that's where you get with your confidence right now. And a little farther that time. And that's a good stopping point. But I'm going to go back and work that other side again. I really want to make sure that he's used to me. Now I got the bridle on him. I put the bridle on. I just want to flex him standing up here. I want him to get used to me flexing up in the air. So I got the bridle on. I'm trying to flex him up there. So what I want to do is get him used to me standing on him and flexing his head. So see, I flex that head. Even though I'm standing up there, I'm simulating being on him flexing it. I'm simulating him having to listen to me while I'm up on his back. Unfortunately, I had a foot of snow after that, and it got really muddy, and I couldn't get out here with him. I had to have toe surgery, so I had a bad toenail and had to have it recut. So now he's really had a chance to sit, and I came out today ready to thinking I could ride him, but I got up on him like I was doing before up on this, and he wouldn't hold still. He was a wreck. So I've really got to bring him back. You can see that I had to go back to basics with the stick and bag again. You see how reactive he is today. And so I got a lot of catching back up because we've just had a few bad weeks here of just terrible snow, mud. I couldn't walk and do anything with him, so I was really hoping to get out and ride him today and mount him, but I knew better because he just wouldn't let me get up. Unfortunately for you guys, camera didn't start because I still can't run the camera. So I also walked out in a black coat. He didn't like that, didn't know who I was because I looked totally different. And all these times it's been colder, but it's a bright sunny day today. So I've really got to start going back to a little bit of scratch. He didn't mind the saddle, doesn't mind the bridle, but boy, he doesn't want me up on him. So now I'm tapping up on top of the saddle. I want to get where I've normally been hanging over the saddle. I want to tap up on that saddle and get him used to movement with the bag on his back. And he's having a really hard time with that. So the saddle's on. I'm rubbing it away. I'm approaching and retreating. I'm putting action when I'm walking away. But I want him to get used to me, have movement up there behind his head. And see, when I put that bag and tap across, he really struggles. He's seeing that flap on his backside, and I'm standing on the other side. He's seeing me in two eyes at once. That's where he threw me off earlier when I was in the saddle. That's what I got to get him calming down. He's pretty good with me on one side. He's pretty good with me on the other side. But when there's movement, see that across his back and across on this side. So you see him rare. I'm going to get back into him. He's getting back into some of that really hot reactive mode that I saw when I first got him. Luckily, he doesn't rear into me anymore, where he used to want to make me move my feet and rear into me. But I've got to really work hard where he isn't reactive around his back. And the bag is a great way to do this. Uh, it's a good check where you can see, you can move the bag on one side of him all the way across with the stick and string, and you see me rub it away. But I want him to stand still when there's movement on his back and there's movement and noise in that saddle. And I just haven't been able to stay with him long enough to really get him to calm back down where I had him, where you saw me earlier in this video stand up in it. So it, it's going to take some time. I moved backwards here a little bit. Now we got to move back forward. So I'm trying to rub it away. He's okay, but now look what happens when I tap this saddle and I put that on the other side. So he sees it waving on one side and I'm standing on the other side. He doesn't like movement in two eyes. That's just too much for him. And that presents a problem. That's a good sign to me that he's not ready to get on again. And of course, he didn't like me standing in the stirrups today, so I'm going to really just go back and get me a starting point. Remember, if they backtrack or if you lose time, go back and regain a starting point. Notice here, though, what I really like. He's very comfortable burying his head in me. Very comfortable with me. That is his relaxation point. So I'm just letting him relax there, and I'm telling him that's my bonding moment. Telling him it's okay. But I still don't like the way he doesn't like movement up here in the saddle. He doesn't like that stick and string and the bag being waved, especially when it gets too far across and he has to use two eyes. So the only thing we've really lost ground on is movement around his back. So I'm just going to have to take a lot of time to start bringing that point back. So I'm going to rub it away. He's okay with that. He's okay with me rubbing his feet. Boy, that movement, that sound, that bag across the saddle. You see he's got those ears pinned back. He reared earlier. He's just really struggling with that. That lets me know that if I jump on top of him, it's not going to be pretty. Let him relax, approach and retreat, rub it away. He's okay with me up there. He's okay with me down on the side right now. That's good. That's coming back. He's okay with me out of ways from him. It's okay with movement. So try to rub it away. Try to rub it away. Enjoy the songs and the music. Now I'm going to put it back up in that saddle, and boy, he doesn't like that at all. See those ears pinned back? See that head turn? So I'm not going to put energy in it this time. I'm going to see if I can just hold it there if he'll relax. He really didn't. He snorted at me to let me know he didn't like that, so I'm going to put it back over there. When you find these spots he doesn't like, You gotta work it and work it and work it till it goes away. Unfortunately, he's not relaxing with that. This isn't working. So I'm trying to think, how long do I want to keep doing this, or what else do I got to do? So I'm going back to holding him, giving him a little love here, letting him relax, and just letting it blow. And he's good with that. So he'll bond with me really well, and he loves to tuck his head into my chest when he's scared. That shows you he's scared. He's not trying to be reactive. He's just scared. He doesn't know how to get over this. So it's my job as a trainer to come up with a way to have him get over with energy in the saddle. I guess if he was bucked on, that energy up there told him to go, told him to buck, told him to kick, and so I got to get him over that. See him walk away, so I'm going to send him back. I'm not going to let him get away with that. His relaxing point is standing still. So I'm going to rub it away. What you're seeing here is the price I paid for, trying to go through the winter. And it's been a mild winter. It's been really good. So I got a long ways with him through the winter, but I had to really wait till this pen dried back out. And it cost me. It cost me some time. Cost me some nights that kind of got thrown away or wasted because if you don't stick with it every day, you really do backtrack. So now I'm just trying to rub it away, rub him with the stick, get him comfortable, put energy as I walk away. Really want to get on this horse. I'm dying to get on him, but I want to do it correctly. I could get on him today and we'd have bucking contests and I could teach him to buck. That's not my goal. He might buck anyway, we don't know. But I want him to be as calm as I can get him before I get on him. I want the ground to be dry so he doesn't slip out from under me. There, I put it across. Unfortunately, I can still see that he's being awful nervous. I'm not gaining ground with him. I'm trying. I can work this day over, day over, day over, which I kind of have been all through the week as much as I could in the mud. But he's not getting real good with this. He's not letting me work on both sides of him at the same time. I'm going to try to rub it away. He's really having a hard time with these the plastic bags, seeing out of two eyes at the same time. I'm just holding it there, seeing if he'll relax, approach and retreat. He's still not relaxing. Seeing move, he really isn't giving in. But he kind of stood still, so I took it away. I don't like what I see. Normally, they'll start giving in, but he's got a will. He's a little bit stubborn, so I'm going to just hold it there again. Doesn't like me on one side, and him seeing something on the other side across that saddle. Boy, that head's up, those ears are pinned. He's just braced. Goes our wonderful Erda wind again. Held still for a while, so I take it away. Approach and retreat. Gonna rub it away. Gonna put it right back and hold it again. Now I gotta do it on the other side. I did it on one side. Let's see if he's any better over here at this side. So I put some energy, go up and rub him. Hold it up by his head. You see how he doesn't like that. Hold it up there. He doesn't like that. Hold right back up there again. Moving. I'm going to try to make him hold still, and I take it away. Approach and retreat. Oh, they hate things up around their head. He thinks where he can't see it behind his ears there. See how you step back away from that? Go right back to the saddle here to see if how he's doing on this side of the saddle. I love how he tried to follow me there. He's looking for that relief. He's looking for that love and hug. I like that part about him. This horse wouldn't give that. Now I'm taking it across the saddle. You can see how he doesn't like that. Now he sees me on two sides at the same time. This is, just has a hard time with that. So I back it off a little bit because he's walking, but I don't want to give up. Now I take it away that he stopped after that. But this is where he's really struggling. Seeing things out of both eyes at the same time. Seeing things up in his blind spot behind his head. That's going to be a huge challenge. I like the wind though, because it really moves the paper bag. The plastic bag. Now I'm going to rub it away. Now I know that that's just not working, so I've had to come up with something else. I had to push him a little bit harder because he's just not catching on. He's not giving in. So what I want to do now is I've put plastic bags all the way around the round pen to blow in the wind. I'm going to take him out there. I love how he followed me out. He's really getting to be my buddy. When he's thinking, now I'm going to send him. And I'm going to let them bags flap in the wind. So he's watching me and he's watching the bags at the same time. I want to put some energy in his feet while he has two things that he doesn't like. He's trying to pay attention to me and he's trying to pay attention to the bag. See how close he's not to the sides? He's kind of staying away from the sides a little bit. That's because he's seeing out of both sides. He's not right up against the round pen now. We're like where he normally is. So it is having an effect. See how now I turn him the other way. He's still listening to me, which I like, but he's still paying attention to those bags. Now I didn't get the reaction I wanted, so now I went and got the stick and bag and the whip, and I'm going to put energies both sides and put a lot of energy. Now he's seen the bags fly on the side. Now he's seeing the side. Now I'm trying to turn him. He doesn't want it. He had a hard time turning there. I can always tell when he starts getting reactive because I lose him in the turn. He doesn't turn well. He isn't clean. He's not thinking. He's just reacting, and that was a good sign of that. Now he's getting closer to the bags on the side. You saw him get back closer to the rail. See his head bobbing? Now he's being more reactive. I want him paying attention to multiple things at once. I'm going to ask him to come, turn. He did really well there. So he's not being too reactive. It's working to some extent what I want to get out of him, but it's not working as good as I'd like. So I want to do this a while just to see if he gives up on it. I want to see if he will start, I don't want to get him too reactive. I don't want to go back, send him back, but I do want to put energy in. Now I'm going to wave the bag, keep the energy going, just with the bag. The more I drive the rear end, the more he wants to think, more he wants to find a place of relaxation. You notice he's really not looking to come to the center for relaxation. He's really not looking for a relief point. I asked him if he wanted to come. He did stop, but he didn't want to come into me because he's still being reactive. I got the bag. I'm going to try to rub it away a little bit. Try to desensitize. Anytime you sensitize, don't forget to desensitize. See, hey, I moved that bag. He didn't like it, so I'm going to send him. Now he's not uptight against the rail again. So I'm going to yell. I'm going to scream. I'm going to put a little higher energy in. Trying to get him to think with a lot of excitement. Yeah, just act crazy. Go into my silly dances. Be silly. I'm just having fun to the music. Gonna see if he'll turn into me. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to come. He doesn't really want to come. I'm asking him. He does want to hold still, so I'm gonna try to rub it away a little bit. He doesn't like that bag. See that? I'm wiggling it. I like how he's not taking off though. So I'm going to rub it away. I'm going to still let him relax because he didn't take off as that bag is coming around. I really want him to be rock solid. Got a Lancy, so I sent him. Little Joe Walsh. Oh, I love Joe Walsh. He's one of my crazy dudes. I look like him. We're both crazy, funny looking guys. Handsome, funny looking dude. Yeah, right. And gotta have Rocky Mountain Way. Love the Rocky Mountains. Grew up in Colorado. Just love it. Now I ask him to come. I like how he came to me that time. Started to think. Not as reactive to the bags. I'm going to wiggle the bag. I like how he moved, but he stood. But I'm going to keep the pressure on until he stands. Going to move it closer to his back. Going to rub it away. Pretty good with that. Going to go to his saddle. Going to go to the saddle. Going to go to the saddle. See if he's going to let me go to the saddle. He's doing good with that. Going to see if I go across the saddle. He didn't like that. But I like how he's following me. He's trying to figure it out. Gonna rub it away. Gonna try the other side. Testing to see how he's doing. I like how he's standing there. So I'm gonna rub it away. Gonna rub down to his neck. Gonna go to the saddle. See how he's doing in the saddle. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. He is braced. There he goes. He couldn't stand anymore. I love how he stopped. He thought about it. He's like, oh, I shouldn't take off. I know better. Saw that pause. But once he did that, I had to get after him. But he tried to stop. He was trying to figure it out. I like that. So this is helping him. This is helping that reaction. I'm still not getting what I want. I did this for quite a while. But we're trying. Keep on working to rub it away. Now go back to his neck, rub it away. Go back to the saddle. Go back to the saddle. Now I'm crossing across the saddle. That's where he's struggling. He's doing a little. Now I bring it back. He wanted to move. But there he takes off. Oh, I love how he paused. He's still thinking, should I stop? It's a good sign, but I didn't like it, so we're going to put the energy in him. Still not getting the results I want. See if he'll stop. Nah, he's not reacting. Gonna ask if he'll follow me. Love how he followed me. I asked him to come to the center, so he is thinking. He is trying to figure it out. He did mind me there, so I'm gonna rub him and reward him. Go back to that energy again, that he's just being reactive. So I'm gonna send him again. My goal is to get him where he can have energy across his back from both sides, up in the saddle, up behind his blind spot, so that we can start riding him. As long as he's really reactive up there in that spot, we're going to have a rodeo. I way overworked him on this, and I still couldn't get him to stand still the way I want him to, with all the bags blown on the fence and with me putting energy. Every time I'd go up to his saddle, he just would not hold still. So I really was struggling trying to think how I'm going to handle him. So I keep, trying to keep pressure, rub it away, go back to the saddle, try to desensitize him. But you gotta have patience. I like how he's thinking, he's following me, but he's do that anyway. But I was just trying to really bond with him and let him know that if I put that energy up behind his head, rather than getting hot and just wanting to run for hours, that he could relax. So rub it all away. Work him a little bit. Just try to get him to be calm for a minute. Maybe I thought here, if I could get him to calm down, go back to his normal self without the pressure, maybe he'd start thinking today and getting it a little bit. So I just went back down to the basics. Calm him down. Cool him off. And go back to the stick and string. Get the bag going again. See if he'll hold still a bit longer. So I'm starting out of ways again before I try to go up to the saddle and put that energy in him. Try to rub all this away that I've put into him, all that energy. You see, he's worried about it because he knows I'm going to approach that saddle. He knows I'm going to try to get back up there where I've been pushing all day long. I'm just going back to ground one, rub it away, and get him to relax. He's okay with this. He's doing really well. He's standing. He's starting to think again. Getting back to the basic groundwork where, we've got to before. So I'm not even trying to let him think that I'm going to come after that saddle. So I like to teach horses to pack, and one of my horses I taught to pack, I have these big, what we call kitchen sets that go on them, and they're aluminum, and then them pots bang against the aluminum kitchen sets on the pack saddle on my kitchen packs. They make a lot of noise. So you see here, I'm going back over behind his head, and I'm just not gaining. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to start going a little bit more drastic, like I did when I teach him to pack. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bag, and I really want him to be reactive, where he's got to figure it out, where I'm not trying to figure it out for him. So how I do this is I take a bag and I tie it to a string on the front of my saddle on the left side, on the right side. I've never really done it with my saddle. I normally do this with my sawbuck pack saddle, but I thought, let's give it a try. Let's see where I've spent day after day after day and I can't get that energy out of his back. And so I know this is going to put energy into him. You see him get excited the minute I permanently put that bag to him. Now I'm going to go around the other side. He's going to get all excited. Give you a hint how to do this is crinkle it up in your hand and then have it blow out a balloon, especially on the windy Erta. I'm going to use that as a sailboat, right? And let those bags sail out. I'm not cutting the bottom out of these bags. So I'm going to tie it to the other side, and I'm going to crumple it and just let his natural reaction in the wind blow those bags open and start putting that energy right on his back. I'm not being able to do it with the stick and string on both sides at the same time that's working. So I want a bag on his left side. I want a bag on his right side. I want him thinking that something's going on both sides. Now I cut him loose. Now you see how he doesn't like that. He's kicking. This is the reactive horse. I've been telling you, he's reactive. This is what I got when I first round pet him. This actual scene right here is no different than day one. And I had this many times with him in the first 2 weeks. You see how he's hot. He's reactive. He kicked at it when he took off. He's not thinking of me at all. All he's thinking about is there's something on my back and I'm really reactive. And I don't like to push him this hard, but with him, I got to come up with something. I got to get energy that's on his back, that it's attached to him, where he figures it out. Because I'm not going to do it with a stick in the bag. It's just not working. I've done it day after day, and I need to get him where motion and energy on his back is a normal thing and he doesn't react to it. I got to tell you, when I thought I was going to catch him one day when I first got him, after a week, and I wanted to start halter breaking him, I lassoed him. And he pulled that lasso out of my hand and it was around his neck. And he drug it like this for hours. And what was funny is I couldn't leave the lariat on him. And it was dark. I was doing it in the dead of winter. It was cold. I was using my tractor light, spotlights, and I couldn't even catch the rope. He pulled it out of my hand, and he did this for over an hour and a half until he calmed down with that rope dragging. And this is what he was doing, and he'd start kicking at that rope. Later on, he did it after I got him caught with the lariat the next couple days. I put on the halter and I attached the lead rope to start pulling a little bit on the lead rope with him, and he pulled it out of my hand and he went right back into this action. So this is the hotness I was telling you about. This is the heat that he has. But I'm going to have to go back to this square one, to ground one, to try to get all this excess energy out of him. We've done really good with his feet. We've done really good with his head, with his hands, with the saddle. We got all that out of him. But he's just scared to death to have anything on his back, any motion on his back. And this is the rodeo that I was so afraid of if I crawled on him. So I'm going to try to turn him. You notice he doesn't even want to turn. He doesn't even want to think I'm there. I'm going to just see if he's ready to turn. He really doesn't. He's not even thinking of me. He's just so hot and excited. So I'm going to use the whip and see if I can get his attention. Can't even slow him down. That shows you how hot he can get and how crazy. Now he saw me. At least he turned the wrong direction. But I can tell, doing anything with him right now is just dangerous. I want him to learn how to figure it out. He's got to figure out what something's on his back, whether it's me, whether it's motion. There's more to bucking and kicking and running. So I still got the bags up on the fence. I got the bags on his back. We're really going to have to push him to get him to figure this out on his own, because he's not going to do it by me on the ground, and I'm not willing anymore to hop on a horse this hot and just ride it out. Sometimes you have to go to drastic measures with some of these tougher horses. This really works good though if you're going to put a pack on them, because packs shift, packs wiggle, the pans bang. And I did on Cash and it worked really well. He figured it out a lot faster, but Blue will figure it out. So for his safety, for my safety, I also don't want to do this when it's wet and muddy, because they slip and they hit the ground. Now you see him kicking at it. You see him kicking at the one on the wall. He hates that one. He hates the ones on his back. He's going to kick them off. And I remember these days. He's going to do all he can to figure this out. But I'd just soon have him figured out now than when I'm on his back. That doesn't mean he's not going to do this when I get on, because everything I do, he gets hyperactive the next step we go, and it just takes days after day until he settles down. But I want to get this energy out of him. I want to get this excitement out of him. I want to get this scaredness out of him. So this is a good way to do it. I've even seen people sometimes when they don't like to drag something, I tie a log behind them and let them run the log out. But I don't like that because it gets tangled, it gets hooked. And the log's really not on their back. It's not up in the position that I'm going to be sitting at. Sorry here, I thought I'd give you some better camera shots. I didn't realize you're getting a good shot. Now I get really sick watching this. And there you go. You see him kick. This is the horse I've been telling you about. I was surprised he didn't do this when I first put the saddle on him, to be honest. And I tried to push him to see if he'd get that energy, but he did really well with the saddle for that day when you saw that. But he isn't doing well with me on his back, trying to get on his back, so I'm going to make him get a little bit more used to something on his back. You see him trying to slow down, trying to figure out different ways to get rid of it. He tried running, that doesn't work, so he's going to try kicking to see if that works. There you go, big old kick. Maybe I can kick him off. Maybe I can buck him off. I'd rather have him try to kick the bag off than kick me off his back. Sometimes it's got to get ugly before it gets better. And I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this, but you got to do what you got to do so you can get him calmed down. What I want him to do is figure out that relaxing is the thing to do. The nice thing about the bags is they blow on a windy day like this is that you see them puff up. So when he does stop and when he does slow down, they deflate some for him. And that's his relief. That's his release. And then they don't make as much noise when he's not getting as aggressive. So there he kicks again. He's still trying to figure out. Running didn't work. I can't get him off. And sometimes you got to do this when you put the saddle on. I've put saddle on horses before and they do this very same thing. I really took my time. Well, I let him do it all along. I let him run. I let him kick. I let him get it all out of his system. Till guess what? He figured it out. And then he just stood there. And so I just let him stand. I just sat there and let him watch. I let him figure it out on his own. And this is a great sign. I want him to figure out that running and kicking is not going to stop that energy on his back. It's not going to go away. The way it's going to go away is you hold still, you stand still, and those bags will stop flapping. You see it blow right there and raise his head. So finally I walk out there, leave the bags on, try to rub it away and calm him back down. He's already calmed down. He's figured it out. And so, that was a really hard, good workout for him. I like that he's holding still there, even when I'm out there. I'm just going to start working him, see what he's thinking, see how he's thinking. Rub it away, calm him down, let him know it's okay. I can be his friend and he doesn't have to fight. If something's on his back, he doesn't have to fight. So now I'm going to push his head a little bit, see how bad he wants to move. I like that. See how he's walking away now and not just taking off? Now he's thinking about it though, so I'm going to let him go. But he's trying to figure it out. He's thinking about it. Bags are blowing. I'm going to ask if he comes in. He didn't want to come in, but he did want to slow down. That's a good sign. So I'm going to ask him to come in again. I'm going to ask him to come in. I'm going to ask him to connect. He started. He's thinking. So now he's starting to think rather than fighting with all that energy and motion on his back. It's a really good sign, so I'm going to let him rest here, even though the bags are moving. I'm going to walk and see if he'll connect. I like that. He's thinking, he's trying. Even though he's distracted with those bags, even though those bags are still on there, I want him to be able to have those on him and still connect with me. So that's all I'm doing here, making him think, even though there's movement. Oh, he didn't like it. It blew. So what am I going to do when he did that? I'm going to give him some energy and send him. I want him to stand still. Now he's trying to figure it out. Very good exercise on these hot, hypersensitive horses. I'm calling him, see if he wants to come. Yep, he's thinking about it, Yep, I love it. Now he's starting to still have pressure on him, still have movement, but still trying to obey what I'm asking him to do. Great sign. That shows you all that training that we've trained him up to is still in his head, is still there. And I'm going to thank him for it. I'm going to rub all that pressure and all that tenseness away. Just imagine his anxiety level. And we all have that, but we got to get him past that anxiety. So sometimes you got to do some drastic things to get him through the anxiety. But I want to make sure he's very calm with movement on his back so we can start riding him. I walked away, he didn't follow me, so what am I going to do? I'm going to send him. He knows better than that. But I didn't send him too hard. I'm not trying to get hyper. I'm not trying to get him hot again. I'm trying to make him figure it out on his own. Now I'm going to do this 2 or 3 days in a row with the bags on him until he really gets comfortable with movement on both sides. That was our main goal. That's why we had to do this. Movement on both sides of his head at the same time, on me on the left and something on the right. And that energy on his back isn't going to hurt him. I need him to understand that that's not going to hurt him. I'll be honest, the second day I did this, I don't have it under video, he was not nearly this hot. Third day, he was even better. And so we really started figuring this out in preparation to get him to ride. So I can start getting back up on the saddle and laying in the saddle and laying across the saddle. That's the whole goal here, so that he gets used to movement and things on his back, rather than trying to buck him off like he did in the rodeo, if that's what he was doing. So I'm not giving him too many commands. That was beautiful. He turned on his own. I didn't even have to tell him. Turned the right direction, turned inward. Now I'm going to take the bags off. I took it off. And now let's cool him down. Every time I sensitize like this, I want to make sure I desensitize. So I'm going to go right back to the standard things we've been working on over and over. I'm going to flex the neck, slide my hand down, pull it around. That was a great flex. He's getting really good at that, really getting good even with the saddle on. I love that. Try to do about 5 times on each side at least every day at the end of my sessions. I don't always count. I don't know what I did there, but that's what I like to do. Rub it away. I love how he's being calm now after all that energy of the day. I'm going to rub it away on the other side, slide down and flex him the other way. And then, there we go. There's 2. Here's 3. Oh, cool him down, make him think. This is a great place to start ending him. Because now after a day of really sensitizing him, I can desensitize him. Really an educational day for him. Good day for me. Now I'm going to check his backup. Keep working on his backup. Still a little rusty, but he's coming on his backup. That's been a hard thing for him, so I'm going to go back to it again. I'm going to rub it away. Looking at his hindquarters, making sure he's going to yield his hindquarters. Beautiful. I want him to pivot on that left front foot. He's not real tight on air. He's pivoting on his left front foot. I like that. Try the other side, right side. Yield hindquarters. What a wonderful day. For all those weeks and snowy days and mud days and messes, he really had a good day to come back. So come on back and we'll see if we can get on top of Blue. Have a great day.